Olá a todos, boa noite. Já vamos conversar, tá, pessoal? Estou mandando essa live para uma galera, como eu sempre faço, vocês sabem disso. Então, espera um pouquinho que a gente já vai conversar, ok? Só um minutinho. As convidadas estão se preparando lá no YouTube. Daqui a pouco a gente já coloca ela aqui. Hello, hello. Olá, os Octopads, Joshua, oi, Lucy, Drum Beaches, Mirna, yeah. Então, vamos conversar, tá? Deixa eu só mandar essa live aqui para uma turma bem grande, para todo mundo assistir, metade do mundo assistir. E daí a gente chama a Sharon, ok? Então, vamos lá. Quase acabando, tá? Quase acabando, quase acabando. Just a few moments, please. Ok, ok. Quase lá. Ok, 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 ok. Pronto. Beleza. Chamando todo mundo ao redor do mundo e vamos lá. Tudo bem, pessoal? Boa noite. Hoje, quinta-feira, a gente começa essa live às 10 da noite. Justamente porque são 8 e pouco agora, 8 e 7, lá em Toronto, no Canadá. Bom, hoje nós temos aí uma convidada super legal, como todas as lives, né? A gente tem convidadas super legais. E eu vou falar primeiro em português, para que vocês entendam também. Oi, Gabi. E para quem não entende inglês, obviamente. Mas fica aí, porque vai valer a pena mesmo que você não entenda o inglês, ok? Antes de mais nada, eu quero mostrar aqui para vocês o bonezinho do meu amigo Kenji. Aqui a gente tem a marca Ritmo, tá? Olha que legal esse boné aqui, ó. Bacana esse boné, hein? Cor de rosinha, joia, super bem feitinha. Top total. Entra lá no site useritmo.com.br e você pode adquirir esse boné aqui, ó, com 10% de desconto, usando o cupom de desconto GirlsOnDrums. Tudo junto. Fala, Julian. O William veio verificar meu inglês, que é horroroso, mas funciona. Você entra lá no site useritmo.com.br, você ganha 10% de desconto nesse boné maravilhindo aqui, ó. Para as minas, mas também fica legal no homem, né? Hoje está muito calor, não vou usar boné nenhum. Mas olha que bacana. E tem também, eu quero mostrar essa camiseta do Girls on Drums que está vendendo. Esse é o que mais está vendendo, tá? Olha que legal, pedal duplo e tal. Essa camiseta é a que mais está saindo. A gente está mandando para o Brasil todo. Gostou? Fala com a gente aqui no direct, tá? Fala com a gente aqui que a gente manda. Ó. Amanhã tá indo uma dessa lá para Bragança Paulista, tá? Daqui a pouco eu mostro mais, no final da live eu mostro de novo. Então sejam bem-vindos, não se esqueçam de mandar as suas perguntas utilizando aqui, ó, esse balãozinho com pontinho de interrogação para Sharon, manda as perguntas que você quiser, também no YouTube, você que está no YouTube, pode usar aqui os comentários que a gente lê, e vocês já devem ter visto ela por aí, né? Hi, Eleni. How are you? Great. Thank you for watching us. If you can, please stay with us. Você já deve ter visto a Sharon nas propagandas do Facebook uns meses atrás, quando mostrou bateria, né? Vocês lembram? Uma propaganda do Facebook sobre mulheres artistas, bateristas, musicistas, cantoras, teatro, enfim, um monte de coisa, falando sobre as mulheres. E ela aparecia tocando bateria. Você deve ter visto essa propaganda do Facebook. Então, eu tenho certeza que você vai gostar. Ela dá aula, já preparou, estou vendo aqui no YouTube, preparou uns materiais para mostrar. Então, Faça suas perguntas, não seja tímido. Use aqui essa oportunidade para saber o que você quiser sobre Sharon. Ela dá aula, ela toca, enfim, vamos saber mais sobre ela. Bom, pessoal, vou aqui no meu inglês, super sensacional, e o professor Julian, se estiver aí, vai me corrigindo ou vai me dando as colas, ok? Hello, people, thank you for being here tonight. Tonight we have a very special guest. As every streaming, we have special guests, okay? Hi, Eleni, happy to watch. Yeah, thank you so much, Eleni Nota. Please check it out, Eleni Nota. Awesome drummer. I'm really big fan of Eleni since I saw her playing videos and whatever. The streaming was wonderful with Eleni. Thank you, Eleni. Okay, let's return. Hi, Fernando. Tonight you have Sharon Ransom from Canada. Maybe you have been seen her, doing. Last year, Facebook did a media video with some women and artists, drummers, artists, whatever. And Cheryl was at this video. Maybe you saw the video, maybe not. It's not so important, but the video was awesome. Just look for this video after the streaming. And tonight we have Sharon Ransom. She play drums, teach drums, play with some bands in Toronto, Canada. And please don't be shy. I pitch you, don't be shy. Use this question toolbox down below to send your questions and comments for Sharon. Don't lose this opportunity. And okay, I think it's enough for now. Let's call Sharon and know more about her playing, her stories, her career. Okay, let's go. Thank you, people, for being here. Let's start another amazing streaming.
Hi, Joel.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. Now, I have my headphones in the phone. Should it be in the laptop, or which one did you want me to put the headphones in?
If you
Yeah, so I have the... Sorry.
Okay, it's better now.
So I mean, the headphones should be in the phone, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Are you hear me? Are you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you right now.
Okay, I hear you too. Sorry for my English again, but
that's all right.
It's work.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome, okay. Awesome, good. Awesome, cool.
Tell me about the snow that you are that you have snow now outside, and here we are dying from summer night.
Yeah, it's like super snowy here. There's actually been a few snowstorms here in Woodstock, Ontario. So it is very cold. I actually was trying to convince my husband to move to somewhere sunny because it's too cold here. But we've just been staying inside because it's really cold and just have been letting the dog out basically because, So... Yeah, I would gladly switch though if I could go there.
Do you play better drums? Do you play better with snow or summertime?
Definitely the summertime. I mean, I also have more gigs in the summer, so maybe it's just because I play outside more and yeah. So.
So I have a question. How do you drummers that live in countries that have snow, because we don't have snow here, it's so hard having snow here, how do you do your warming up? It's a very good question to begin this stream.
Yeah, so how do I do like practice, like or like just warm up in general?
Yeah, to play drums, of course.
Oh, to play drums, yeah. So I actually have a Vic Firth practice pad here. It's actually on the floor, but I do a lot of different rudiments. Like I don't do anything particular in any order, but for myself, I like to do rudiments like single strokes and doubles and flams and Swiss Army triplets and everything, and just kind of run through different rudiments so that I can get my wrists and fingers moving. And then if I have the opportunity to, I'll also use like like the drum set as well to be able to practice on as well. So
yeah, great. I saw your husband behind you.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah. He actually found my headphones, so that's great.
tell me the name, the name of
His,
your husband.
my husband's name
James.
is Eric.
Eric. Hi,
Yes.
Eric. Don't go away.
Oh, he left already upstairs. Eric.
Yeah, Eric, don't go away. I have to say you. Please,
Oh,
if you have a hot chocolate, please bring it for your wife, not for me.
a
I
hot
want to
chocolate.
something cold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him. That's Eric. We got married in 2019, so yeah, we just got married like a year and a half ago. Anyway.
Please don't be a gentleman and bring for your wife a hot chocolate, and I have a cool water.
Oh,
To,
thank you. Yeah, no, that's great. I'm actually just gonna switch my headphones here. I usually
okay.
use these ones here, so I'm just gonna switch it. Okay, we're good. Awesome,
Yeah, better.
awesome. Yeah, so I usually use these Ultimate Ear headphones here. So I was trying to find them, but yeah, my husband found them.
Okay.
Anyway,
Your husband play guitar, correct?
yeah, yes, he's a guitar player.
Ah,
Hmm.
I saw him because here we are like a spy. We want to know everything about the drummer.
Oh, okay. So you guys saw my husband play guitar too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you want to bring your husband to play with you in the final part
Okay.
of streaming, no problem. Okay,
Okay.
but you said that you use your Vic Firth
Yeah.
press pad and play some rudiments, but think with me. When you do this, you are already playing, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what kind of warm up do you do before, after, before playing?
Before playing. So I usually will play like even some grooves as well on the practice pad. So depending on what I'm doing for a show or for a wedding gig or something, like I'll actually like just use my practice pad itself, use the rim and like the actual pad part, or anything around me to sort of emulate the same drum groove that I'll be playing later on. So that's kind of what I do. Yeah.
Okay, and do you teach? Of course.
I do.
But
I teach drum lessons. Yeah.
do your students? I guess that students don't like to do the warm up. They
Mm.
want to sit on the drums and just start to banging, start to playing drum covers. Correct?
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of students who will want to do that. Yeah.
What which is the best way to convince your student to sit down, relax, and do 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes with press pad doing rudiments?
That's a good question. Yeah. Yeah. So I like to show people the reason why we learn things. So what I mean by that is if I show someone a rudiment, like a single stroke roll, for example, I like to show them, okay, I'm not just showing you the single stroke roll just because. I'm showing you the single stroke roll because now you can do this drum fill and now you can play this drum beat a little faster because you're exercising your wrists and your fingers. So I like to explain to students the reason why I'm showing them something, so they don't feel like they're just learning a rudiment or practicing a rudiment just for the sake of it, like there's no end to it. So I like to explain that no, we're practicing these rudiments because it's going to make you a better drummer ultimately. So that's kind of how I go about that.
Which are the rudiments that students like more, and which are the rudiments that students hate more?
You know what? I find that it's kind of a combination of both. You know, like I find that single stroke rolls and double stroke rolls are the main ones that I like to work on with students, but they're the ones that students either love or they hate. So it's kind of a mixture of both for sure. I think the ones that people find to be the favorite ones are the paradiddles because it's a combination of a single stroke and a double put together, and they like the sound of it in between different drums on the drum set. So I would probably say that.
I saw your video explaining, let me see the title. Where's, okay, fake double bass using a single pedal. I think this is a very good idea, very good chop.
Yeah.
For us that we are playing for a bunch of years now, but for a student is wow, awesome. It's very, very cool. So people, if you want to see Sharon doing this trick or chop, edit this streaming, please stay with us because you will love it. Okay, we have a great Brazilian drummer here, Pichu Ferraz, warm up with grooves. Yeah, Pichu, do you know Pichu? Pichu is very good drummer.
Okay, awesome. Nice to meet you.
Hello. Send your question for Sharon. If you want to send in English, okay, or in Portuguese, I will try to translate with my beautiful English.
Awesome.
Okay. Sharon, tell us about your career. We want to know how was the first year playing drums, about your start as a drummer. Let's go to the beginning of your career.
Yeah, for sure. So I actually started playing drums at the age of 12. And by 13, I actually started teaching my first drum student. And my very first drum student was actually 75 years old. She really wanted to learn. Yeah, she really wanted to learn how to play the drums. And back then I lived about an hour from here in a city called St. Thomas. And so I started teaching drum lessons from my home when I was 13 years old. And I actually saw from that point on, I just loved the drums and wanted to learn more about it. And by 13 as well, I was in a band. And when I was in that band, I played in various competitions and youth talent searches and events like that. I played in a band from 13 all the way up until now, and I'm 27. So it's been 14 years. And through those 14 years, I've also entered competitions and I've played for artists who have been on the same bill as Florida Georgia Line, as well as played in competitions where I actually won that drum set right there, the clear drum set. I won a competition and won that. And then just recently over the past couple years, actually it was just last year, I ended up getting flown to LA, Hollywood, to be able to do a commercial for Facebook where we advertise for International Women's Day. And actually, currently I have some other projects coming up as well. And so that's actually a little bit of a surprise, but that's coming soon. I've been asked to drum for a couple more projects that are happening as well. But that's kind of what's been happening. And on top of that, I opened up this drum studio here in Woodstock called the Ransom Drum Lab. So it's been awesome teaching drum lessons. I've been teaching from students in Canada and in California, Hawaii, London, England, and different places all over the world. So it's been really great, especially with virtual drum lessons now being very popular. I've been able to teach students from all over, which has been really cool.
Great, great. So many things to talk about. Let's start about your first drum kit, your first drum lesson. What kind of memories do you have about that time?
Okay, so I actually didn't start taking formal drum lessons until I was 18 years old. That was actually when I went into college and actually took drum lessons as a like more formally. However, before that time, I took drum lessons on YouTube from a guy named Mike Johnston, who now does Mike's lessons. And so actually from when I was 13 all the way up until now, I've been taking drum lessons from Mike Johnston. So I actually take lessons from him with his platform, as well as I take one-on-one private drum lessons from Emmanuelle Caplet from Montreal. So I've been doing Skype lessons with her as well, and both of them have been awesome. It's been a lot of fun just to be able to learn different drum techniques and playing. And on top of that as well, like I'm going to be going to California hopefully next year to attend the drum teacher camp that Mike Johnston's putting on. And that's kind of what it's been like, just teaching lessons, but also taking lessons as well. I love learning and everything. So they've both been really great.
Great. So I know Mike Johnson, great drummer, great studio program. But let's talk about Emmanuelle Caplet, because we are here now talking about Girls on Drums.
Yeah.
And maybe you can think, wow, Girls on Drums, but you have a man talking with me. It's because I am the producer of the Girls on Drums, and my friend Julia from Brazil is marketing. Actually, is marketing department of the festival. Don't feel comfortable to talk in English, so you have to hear my beautiful English. Okay, let's talk about the lessons with Emmanuelle.
Mm-hmm.
I know Emmanuelle. We tried and invited her to. We invited her to do a streaming, but maybe she's so busy and etc. Tell us about the lessons with Emmanuelle, because here in Brazil, Emmanuelle have so many fans, drummers, of course,
Mm-hmm.
and they know a little bit about Emmanuelle besides the videos.
Yeah, so Emmanuelle was actually my very first exposure to a female drummer when I was 13 years old, and looking on YouTube for different drummers who were female. Emmanuelle Caplet was the first drummer who actually popped up. And so ever since I was 13 years old, I've been such a huge fan of her. I would watch her YouTube videos and learn. And just, I also really liked the fact that she would smile whenever she played the drums. She looked so happy and just had so much fun playing the drum set. So I actually tried to kind of be like her and just kind of have her as an example for my drumming. Well, what ended up happening was, this past year, I've had the opportunity to be able to take drum lessons from her, which has been absolutely amazing. Like, she's a hero I've looked up to since I was 13 years old. And so being able to take drum lessons from her right now is like so crazy, because she is both so encouraging and supporting to me, but she's also someone who also pushes me to be better as a drummer than I am right now. So she's a really good balance of both, and I really appreciate it. Right now, we're actually working through some grooves, such as the cascara on the ride cymbal, and learning just to play that with a bossa nova pattern on my feet, and reading the New Breed book with my left hand. So it's a lot of coordination and stuff, but I love it. Like, it's really fun, and I've been learning a lot of Latin grooves and stuff from her right now. So yeah, that's what we're working on.
Great. So I have a question about something that you said right now. How to play the bossa nova groove reading the Grandchester. Tell us, teach us. Time to learn from Sharon.
Okay, you want me to show you guys how it goes?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, here, I'll do a little bit of it. I'm gonna see if I can move this here. Okay, so basically what happens is, if I have my my ride cymbal here.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically the cascara rhythm goes. That's what's happening on the ride cymbal. But then what's super cool is that you have this bossa nova pattern happening between your feet. So the bossa nova pattern, right, goes, and you add the cascara pattern. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. sounds like with your right hand and your feet. And you got to keep that going while you take your left hand and read the Gary Chester book. So the Gary Chester book, I actually have it right here. Ooh, oh, it just fell.
No problem.
It's all right. But here's an example of the Gary Chester book here. I don't know if you can see, but let's just do an example. I'll just read the first measure with my left hand. I'll read the right hand or left hand with my first measure. So we've got this happening.
Great.
Yeah,
Great.
so that's an example of like what I'm working on right now. So
great lesson. We have a comment here from Pichu.
Okay.
Amazing the drum solo at his wedding. Talk about this. Okay. Please talk about this incredible moment.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, so I got married in August of 2019, and my husband and I wanted to do something special that featured music. And so we decided we were going to write a few songs of ours that we were going to perform at our reception. And how we were going to do that was we were going to walk into our reception with him playing his guitar already with a wireless patch cord system happening so that he could play the guitar walking in. And then I was going to have my drumsticks being carried in, and I was going to walk on over to the drum set, and then we were going to start playing some of our songs. Well, one of our songs that we wrote actually featured a drum solo and a guitar solo. And with this drum solo, I played the solo, and the wedding videographer actually got a really good video of it. And so that wedding video was actually my audition tape to get that commercial in LA, in Hollywood. And that's why they flew me out to Hollywood to film that commercial, was because they saw me playing drums in a wedding dress. And so it was kind of like a similar type of feel for the commercial. They sort of copied the idea of me playing drums in a big dress. So that's kind of how it happened from that point. So yeah, it was a lot of fun being able to play drums with my now husband, though. He's awesome. He's great.
What kind of advice you can say for the drummers, of course, the female drummers that want to play drums at their wedding day?
Oh, I would 100% say go for it. I've actually had drummers who are female getting married and saying, oh, I really want to try that. I don't know if I can, but I always tell people, you know what, like, you know, go for it. Like, just try something, especially if it's something you love, like music and drumming. Like, you want your wedding to be something that's fun and exciting and something you'll remember as well, that you did something fun like that. So anyways, I encourage people to do it. It's fun.
Yeah. But what about the difficulties to play with the wedding dress?
Oh, yeah, that's a good...
It's a kind of problem.
Yeah, it is. So I actually had to work with a wedding dress shop here in London so that I could tell them, hey, guys, I'm a drummer, and I would like my wedding dress to be able to not just bustle at the back, but I also wanted to bustle at the front. So what bustling means is that they bunch up the wedding dress so that it comes up higher. And so what I asked was, is there any chance that you guys could make it the front of my dress go really high above my knee so that I can play the bass drum pedal and the hi-hat without the dress being caught? And they had never done that before, but they worked with their fashion designer team and they were able to come up with a plan to do it. And so for my wedding, for the ceremony, I was able to have my wedding dress really long for when I walked down the aisle. And then when I was in the reception, they were able to bustle it so that it was up above my knee and then up off the floor in the back, so that when I sat down on the drum set, the bass drum pedal and the hi-hat wasn't even touching my drum or my dress at all. So it was out of the way completely. And on top of that, the actual dress, like the top part and everything, I made sure that it was comfortable for me to sit in. And at the wedding dress shop, they actually asked me if they could pretend like I was playing the drums to make sure that the dress was comfortable to sit in. So they accommodated me really well. at this wedding dress place.
Great. So you have to send the contact for my student here, Amanda. She's saying, me and my fiancé, we are both drummers. When you do a little party, we want to do something like you did
Yeah,
with your now husband. Okay, great.
that's
Fantastic.
awesome.
So let's talk about that great movement that we can see at your video, wedding, and Facebook, like doing this kind of movement.
Oh, yeah.
Great. It's
Oh,
great,
thanks.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, show us.
You want me to play it? Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Sure. Okay, so this is kind of like a crossover drum fill that I like to use a lot. So I'll show you guys how to play it. It's pretty fun. So this is something my students will ask me to teach them how to do as well. But it basically just goes like this. It's actually just a single stroke roll, just going right, left, right, left, right, left. You're just doing that the whole entire time. But the difference is that you're going from the floor tom, right, to the tom one, left, and you just go one drum to the right, like this. So if you were to go faster, all right, so again, what I'm doing is I'm starting with my right hand on the floor tom, left hand on tom one, and just moving over one drum at a time. Just like that. Yeah.
Great, great. It causes a very good like how can I say it's impressive to people that are watching you.
Right.
Like this is so great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
people, if you want to try this kind of movement, you can contact Sharon and do your online lessons with Sharon. I have no doubt that Sharon will teach you how to do this and a lot of more drum tricks. Correct?
Thank you. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I love teaching drum lessons. So if there's anyone at all who's looking for that, I'm available and stuff for that. So yeah, thank you.
Sharon, tell us about your first drum kit.
My first drum kit. Okay. So my very first drum kit was actually a drum set that I had gotten at a Walmart. So basically a superstore, like grocery store type of a store, basically. And then I basically had that for about a year or two. And then my parents actually decided to surprise me with a Ludwig Accent CS kit. It was actually the drum set that I played at my wedding. So that drum set was actually my very first professional drum set. And I actually had that drum set all the way up until I got married. So the wedding there. And then the following month, after we had gotten back from our honeymoon, my husband surprised me with this Gretsch Catalina Club drum set behind me here. So that's kind of my history of drum sets. I've had a few others in between, but the Superstore drum set was my first one. Then my one that I had for like the longest time was the Ludwig Accent CS, and now I have the Gretsch Catalina Club.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
We will talk about your drum kit and equipment after. So let's talk about your gigs. How do you prepare yourself to playing with bands and doing commercials, playing drums, of course? How do you prepare yourself to do a professional gig?
Yeah, so that's a good question. For my wedding company that I'm a drummer for, we periodically will do rehearsals together. But a lot of the times it's a matter of us being able to listen to the song and then just learn it on our own. So when it comes to listening to music and drumming to those songs for weddings, I like to actually map out kind of an idea of what's happening in the song, and I'll group them into sections. So for example, if the map of the song is like intro, verse 1, pre-chorus, chorus, and then basically the same thing, but replace the intro with an instrumental. What I'll do is I'll say like words or keywords that will help me to remember what the drum beat is. So whether it's something like, hey, a basic rock beat, 8th note hi-hat, or a basic rock beat variation, 2 kick drums on 3 and. I'll kind of map it out like that just to kind of help me to remember. And then what I'll do is after I kind of have that as a visual, because I like to write things down, after that, and I've listened to the song quite a few times, and I'll just take out the music and I'll just do it from memory, basically. The wedding company I currently play for, we will play around 60 to 70 songs an evening. And so a lot of the times it's a lot of the same songs. And so I've kind of had them repeated now. But I'll like go over them by listening to the music in the car. So that's how I go about that. Yeah.
Do you have some of those maps with you to show us? Because people sometimes want to know more about this kind of chart or map.
Yeah.
I do this kind of stuff frequently. I'm always doing my maps, but let's see your maps, because you are the special guest, not me.
Yeah, so I don't have like any right now on me, because again, like I usually will throw them out, but here's a program that I use. I'll actually show you.
Great.
Yeah, so this is a program that I use though for transcribing music for my students, and also for so here's an example. Actually, I just taught this lesson here.
Okay.
So if you look here on my laptop, so this is an example of a song that I have been working on with my students. So it's called Whatever It Takes by Imagine Dragons. And right here, I've written the drum music on here. So I haven't written the whole entire song. All I've done is played here just the main groove. So this is the whole entire main groove of this song here on Imagine Dragons. And again, what I'm using is a program called Guitar Pro 7.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'll do is I'll do stuff like that. And usually, basically, actually, what I do for my maps is basically kind of like this sometimes for the chorus. But if I already know what the drum beat is and I'm really familiar with it, for example, like this one right here is a very popular groove.
Yeah.
I'll basically just write down 16th note basic rock. So then that word already triggers me to know what I'm playing. So that's an example of what I do.
Yeah, but do you write your maps by hand, or do you prefer use the Guitar Pro?
So I usually write it by hand, but that's an example of what I do for Guitar Pro. That's more for my students, I guess. But like the notes that are on there, sometimes I'll do something like that. If it's a drum fill, for example, that's kind of a little bit different than what I'm normally playing. I'll write out the drum fill, like on beat 4, for example, and play this drum fill, like blah, da, 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 or something like that. So
yeah, and for those people that want to play professionally with a band, like you do for weddings and events in general.
Yeah.
The best kind of advice you can say for us?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I actually have students of mine who ask that too, because they'll basically ask, to play for weddings or gigs such as I do. I think part of it has to do with listening to music and jamming along with those songs as best as you can. If you can find a teacher who can kind of show you the specific parts, or if you can find them on YouTube, like a tutorial on how to play certain sections of the songs, then definitely do that. I would definitely say, though, ultimately, you do want to widen your repertoire of music that you know, because depending on the wedding, you might need to play, electronic music, or you might need to play country or classic rock or pop, or depending on what they're looking for. So I would say definitely broaden your musical understanding of music and learning how to play drums to a lot of stuff. And then the other thing, too, is to find someone who's going to mentor or kind of take you on as an intern type of thing, where they'd be even willing to show you, like maybe you can go to an event or gig that the person plays on, and then you can kind of see what they're doing, and they might even be able to give you a chance to let you play along or play instead of that person. So that's something that I do. I like to do that with my students, is that I actually aim to teach my drum students to the point that I don't have to teach them anymore. That's my goal as a drum teacher, is that I don't want to teach them anymore. I want them to be able to be independent on their own. And so actually I have drum students right now who I will take with me to certain gigs, and I'll say, okay, you play. I want you to play the drums to this song instead of myself. And then they'll do that, and I'll say, okay, cool. You're good. Like you've got the song. That's the whole point of this, right? So if you can find someone who can do that too, that would be awesome. Someone who can mentor and train and direct you in that.
Great. So, do you think it's very important to student to learn how to play a bunch of styles like rock, pop, country, whatever, and be prepared to play with some kind of band, different kind of bands?
Right, yeah. I would say yes, definitely rock for sure. That seems to be a popular one because a lot of rock grooves can actually translate into pop grooves anyways, and vice versa. So if there's a chance that you can kind of get rock, pop, and then country, that's also kind of part of it. Even those three genres on their own, you can get quite a bit of gigs even just with those three genres. So I would start with that, and then it's always good to learn. And so if you can get into doing jazz and Latin grooves and like things like that, I would say expand your knowledge and learn that if your main goal is to play for weddings and whatnot.
And playing with a wedding band, tell us if you can remember the most difficult gig that you had playing in a wedding band. Something like, wow, the bride don't came, or anything like this.
Oh, like something that happened at a wedding?
Yeah.
Oh man. Let me think.
Some kind of
Yeah, sure.
maybe the guests start to fighting.
Oh yeah. You know what? I actually played a wedding gig once, and it was on New Year's Eve, and it was a wedding. So it was crazy. We actually had people who were trying to come up to us, and they were trying to yell at me to play the drum set because they wanted to play it, but they had like alcohol in their hands, and like they were spilling it everywhere. And I was like, I don't want that on my drum set. And I was trying to say no, like you're not allowed to play the drum set here. But they were like really forcing to want to play. Well, eventually my bass guitar player stopped playing and like moved, like pushed them out of the way, kind of idea. So that happened once. But other than that, it hasn't been too crazy. Like I've actually really enjoyed playing at weddings. It's been my favorite. So
Why people think that they can play drums when drinking?
what's that?
Why people think that they can play drums
Oh,
drinking?
yeah, I don't know.
Wow, I am drinking, so I'm cool, I'm okay, and what kind of thing I want to do? Oh yeah, I want to play drums
Yeah.
because the drums is so easy. I just have to bang the drums because I play in wedding too, and of course I saw many times people going to the stage and trying to beat my cymbals or my pads with the glasses,
Oh my god.
with whiskey whatever, and sometimes we have problems doing this kind of gigs with people that
Oh my
drink so
word.
much.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, no, I know. That was basically that gig. Yeah.
Do you have some kind of problem with people drinking and how to say, and the glass
Yeah.
on the drums?
Yeah, actually, not on my drum set, but it did happen to my guitarist's guitar pedals, and it was like thousands of dollars worth. And they like went to, they actually, it was the same guy who was trying to get to play my drums. He actually like spilled his drink and stuff, and like a little bit actually went on his guitar pedals, but it didn't ruin it. But my guitar player had to stop playing. And again, same thing, like he had to like move the guy away because he dropped his alcohol on his pedal board. Yeah. So it's crazy. I know.
Okay, let's move. Let's talk about your drum studio, drum lab, and tell us how do you teach your students? Do you have a special program for maybe kids or for people that want to play more professionally or just want to play for fun?
Yeah, for sure. So I base my program based on where the student is at and what age they are, what experience they're at. I take all of that into consideration when I come up with a lesson plan for my students. So with my younger students, a lot of them are on the Drums One book by Blake Neely. And so basically what it is like it just goes through the names of the drum set. It goes through basic rock beats and variations of different drum beats and time signatures and different things like that. And it's really great for younger kids because it also has a play along track as well so that they can play the drums along to songs, which is really cool. I also use a book actually from a guy in the States. His name is Rick Stojak. And he does a book where he shows different basic rock beats again, like different variations, but also has play-alongs on YouTube as to the drum beats corresponding to those songs. So if you want to play a song by the Beatles, it'll be like, okay, it's drum beat number 52. Go to that drum beat, and then you can play along with the music. So students who are wanting to play more music type of things like that, I will recommend that book. And then for my more advanced students, I'm using drum books like Groove Essentials by Tommy Igoe. I use Groove Essentials 1 and Groove Essentials 2, as well as I get students usually to purchase the Syncopation for the Modern Drummer book. And we'll use that to be able to learn Latin or jazz or rock grooves while reading the Syncopation book with your left hand, or maybe it's with your left foot, etc. Yeah, and then just depending on what the student is looking for, I offer different books, but then I also use Guitar Pro 7 to write out my own music. So if there's a song that someone wants the whole drumming transcription for, I will actually sit down myself and write out the whole drumming transcription if I'm not able to find it. So I actually like have written like a lot of like drum transcription for like Rush, for example, or Imagine Dragons and different bands and things like that. So yeah, I will use that so then I can give those to my students and for future students as well.
Great. And for online drummers, it's the same thing?
Yeah, so for my online drummers, I actually do the same thing. I will get them to purchase books, or I will write out drum music on my Guitar Pro 7 program and then screen share my screen so that they can see what I'm writing out so that I can teach them that way.
Great. So fantastic. Fantastic. So I have to say something in português, okay? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Pessoal, se vocês têm alguma pergunta para Sharon, mandem aqui. Essa é uma oportunidade muito legal. Mandem, vocês estão muito tímidos, vocês que estão aí ouvindo em português. Eu sei que talvez vocês tenham um pouquinho de dificuldade, mas mande sua pergunta em português que eu traduzo para ela. Tá super legal esse papo. Vamos aprender mais com a Sharon. Okay, Sharon, let's talk about your lab, drum lab. Show us how is your drum lab? I can see something on the walls.
Sure, yeah. So do you want to see just kind of what it looks like right now?
Yeah. Please carry us with you. Let's do a walk.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so so my drum studio is actually, I just taught in it. So here's what we have. So basically, these are a bunch of like older drumsticks that I've made into panels. So they have them like all over with the studio foam here. But I have my second drum set right here is actually what I use to teach on. And so this is where I usually will teach. And then that way I'm pretty far away from the student, which is over there. So then that way we can social distance as well. But that's kind of what the back wall looks like. Yeah, yeah, and so we have that. And then I have my desk here that I will print music and whatnot. And then over here is actually the guitar area. I teach guitar lessons as well. So that's where I teach guitar lessons.
Great.
Yep.
So you are are you at your basement?
Yeah, we're in the basement right now.
Great, beautiful walls. Lucy, are you there? Lucy is my one of my students. Lucy,
okay.
Are you there? What do you think the color of the walls? Because Lucy is I don't know how to say English, interior designer.
Oh, cool! Awesome. That's cool. If you have any ideas for me, that would be amazing. I'm hoping to like update this place too. So yeah.
She gave me some ideas for my room here.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I am at my drum school, room number 1. I have a Gretsch like you.
Oh, cool.
Okay, let's talk about your equipment. So now we are with almost 1 hour streaming. Very good.
Awesome.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about your equipment. Tell us about your drums, your cymbal preferences, drum heads.
Yeah.
All the things.
For sure. So right now I have a Gretsch Catalina Club. And then I also have EC2 clears, like Evans EC2s. Here, I can even show you guys. Basically, so right now I have EC2s on my drum skins right here. And then I also have the UV1 Evans snare skin. And then for my cymbals right now, I have the double A's, cymbals and hi-hats, but I'm actually going to be switching those to the double HX cymbals plus the click hats for my hi-hat. So that's actually going to be a change coming soon. So there's that. And then my ride cymbal is the double HX groove ride. And then my whole kit is the Catalina Club. So I have a 10, 13, and 14 floor tom, and then a 20-inch bass drum. So yeah.
20-inch. So you have a 13 rack tom or a 12?
Yeah, sorry, 12. Sorry, so 10, 12, and then 14.
Yeah, great. And the another drum kit, the
so
acrylic?
Yeah, so the clear one acrylic is a crush kit. So this one's just a basic beginner's one. So this is my crush. It's a 10-inch, and then I have a 18-inch kick drum, and then 13-inch floor tom, and then just a snare drum here. It's signed by Larnell Lewis. I probably should hang that, but it's on a snare drum, and then just a double A ride cymbal, basically. So yeah, these are just basic hi-hats there. So.
Great, beautiful drum kit. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, beautiful drum kit. So I'm seeing that you have some microphones on your drum kit.
Yeah.
And do you do some kind of drum recordings?
Yeah, I do. Yep. Well, I do recordings for like social media and stuff. I'll have my husband do the audio. So right now we have a D112 for the kick drum. We have Shure microphones all over the toms, and then we have an SM57 on the snare, and then we're actually getting NT5 overheads for the cymbals and as overhead mics.
Great. And do you have some kind of problems to do the preparation, the putting your microphones, because sometimes people want to know more about this kind of stuff. Not for me, people here. For sure. Doing videos like you did at your YouTube or Instagram. How do you do this kind of stuff? The more easily way to do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so basically I just keep my drum microphone set up all the time, and so I always have my D112 on my bass drum. All of my Shure microphones are on all the toms, and then I have my overheads, and they're just always on the drum set, even when I'm teaching lessons. And so that way it's actually easy because it's already plugged into my interface. I have a Fire Studio Pro interface, and my husband has actually created a template on Studio One where it's just called the drum recording template. And we just click right into that and just press record whenever we want to do a recording. So we've made it really easy so that it's simple to just be able to record for social media and whatnot.
Great, great. Nowadays, we have so many drummers doing this kind of stuff, playing alone with drum tracks. And we can see so many young drummers playing on the videos with very good sound.
Mhm.
What do you think about this kind of thing nowadays is happening all over the world because this pandemic situation? Okay, we have this, and people are playing alone with their drums and not with bands, and just doing only drum covers and playing alone. What it- what kind of think you have about this? Because I think it's important to play with a band. But okay, we maybe people don't want to go out and share with friends because of this kind of situation. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think you know what, like, it can be really tricky to kind of. It can be sometimes hard with like TikTok and Instagram and Facebook nowadays because uh, it's really easy to play really short clips on social media and just say, okay, the rest of the stuff maybe I had a really hard time with, but like this 10-second clip of me on the drums is like very simple. So I'm going to just play that and then put it on Instagram or put it on Facebook. And it's like a highlight, right? Of the best of your drumming versus the whole entire song. So I think it's a little bit tricky to know sometimes with students or people if they're a good drummer or not, maybe because it's like maybe their 10 seconds were really good, but what does their drumming sound like for the whole entire song? Right. And I think that's a tricky thing because when you're playing in a band, you have to play for the whole entire song. You're not just playing for 10 seconds, you're playing for 3 minutes. So it's so important to lock down that groove, sometimes even as simple as it may be, for a whole 3 minutes versus a lot of drum fills maybe for like a 10-second clip on Instagram or for Facebook. But at the same time, I don't think that there's any harm in either one. I think that as drummers, we're it's important to be able to do both. Like we should be able to play a quick 15-second clip, but we should be able to play a full song as well, and also very tight. Like we should be able to lock a groove in, like right on time with the metronome or with the band. So I think it's beneficial to actually do both ways, playing in a band and also playing stuff for fun on social media too. Yeah, it's
Great.
different for everyone though. Yeah.
So, do you encourage your students to record themselves
Hmm.
playing drums? Just not only the audio, but the video too, to see what they are playing,
Yes, I
how they
do.
are playing.
Yeah, so actually, most of the assignments that I will ask my students is that they play the drums that we've just learned to the song that goes with the book that they have, or with like for example, another thing is I'll say, okay, now that you've learned the reggae groove, okay, play this reggae groove to the song One Love by Bob Marley. Or I'll say, okay, now that you've learned this basic jazz groove, play this jazz groove to the song Fly Me to the Moon by Frank Sinatra on YouTube. So then that way it's like not only are they learning a style of drumming or a certain drum beat or a certain drum fill, they're actually using that drum beat or drum fill to an actual song that exists. So I'll get them to actually like record that video and then send it to me, and then we review it the following week for our lessons. So that's actually a huge part of our lessons. Yeah.
Great, great, fantastic. So I have a question for one of our sponsors here, Zoct Pets. Are you there, Zoct Pets? Please, if you are there, please say on the comments, I'm here. Zoct Pets. Do you know Zoct Pets, Sharon?
No, I don't.
No. So tell me which is your favorite color?
My favorite color? It is actually purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you seeing this kind of little piece of gear? This filter here?
Oh yes, yep.
Do you know what I'm saying here? This piece of
the symbol pads.
Yeah, underneath the symbol filter.
Yep.
Okay. Zoct Pets will send you a little pack of 10 rubber felts in purple.
Oh, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Do you know the color felts that maybe you have seen this kind? You have rubbers like rubber felters. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I just call them felt rings or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Zoct Pets. Maybe the people at Zoct Pets is sleeping now. I don't know.
Okay.
They were here. Okay. They send you the purple one. 10 rubber felts.
Awesome.
Like
thank you.
Put your new drum kit or with new cymbals. Okay, let's go. I saw your Ransom Drum Lab presents Winter Jam 2020, and the video have your students playing, correct?
Right. Yep.
Okay. How to prepare this kind of jam with students? Because I saw a very good part of the video, and I saw people playing drums with tracks. I saw one student playing with you, a drum duet. I saw people playing with a band. Okay, Zoct Pets, are you there? So you send it, Sharon, purple pack.
Awesome.
Rubber felt. Okay.
Yeah. I have a question. Is there any chance? So purple is my favorite color, but is there any chance that I could get the blue so it matches the drum studio too? Would that work at all?
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah. Thank you.
The blue ones.
Blue ones, yeah.
Please take note, Zoct Pets. Sharon Ransom wants the blue ones, filters, rubber filters. I don't have. That's why I am showing like this.
Okay, that's okay.
I'm waiting for my Okay, let's talk about the Winter Jam. So, like I said, I saw people playing with band. I saw a girl playing in an electronic drum kit. Well, I have 1 hour, 1 hour and 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Winter Jam, how to prepare your students to do this kind of concert.
Yeah. Okay, so preparing my students. So
it's freezing.
Yeah, it's freezing on my end. It's okay now, but can you hear me okay? Or hello?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Okay, so when it came to preparing my students, I actually had been teaching them drums for a few months now. Some brand new students, some taking lessons now for a year or 2 or 3 years already by this point. And so what I wanted was to have all my students play different types of things, whether it's to tracks or with a band or with me. And I kind of wanted to give a little bit of a variety. And so what we did was we would practice that during our lessons in order to pretend like we were performing. So we practiced the drum beats and the actual songs, but we also wanted to make sure that we were practicing as if we were performing for the audience as well. So I got my students to practice all three of those things. And it took us a few months just to prepare those performances with all the different students of different skill levels. So that's kind of how we went about it.
Okay, but I think it's very difficult to prepare these students because we have the same kind of program here.
Okay.
And sometimes the student feels so shy, and sometimes starting to be nervous to
Right.
play live, and maybe forgot all the song.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot everything. I forgot that feel. I forgot this or that. How to prepare the
Yeah.
student to this? How do you prepare your student?
Okay. Okay. So for that, so I do have students who will get nervous playing in front of people. I always tell people, first of all, that it's not like it is not absolutely mandatory. Like I don't force my students to play at these recitals, but what I do show them is that, you know what, whatever skill level you're at or whatever experience you're at as a drummer, that's the experience or level that I would like you to be at. And I only want you to try your best. So if your best is that you can only play eighth notes on the hi-hat along to a song, or maybe it's that you can only play a basic rock beat, but you can't play with the music just yet, that's what I want you to do. Like, I don't expect anything more than whatever it is that you've learned and whatever your best is. And I find that even just having that conversation with students sort of encourages them to know that I'm going to love them and I'm going to value them no matter what spot they're at as a drummer. And maybe even if still they don't want to play that first recital, I've had students who've actually said, okay, I don't want to play that recital, but can I do the next one? Or I'll give opportunities such as allowing them to do a virtual drumming collaboration with other students online, because some people like just sending in a video and then just having it be that way. So I'll even give that as an opportunity as well, and just say you can just send in a video of yourself playing the drums if you're not comfortable playing for other people. And I kind of just figure out where their comfortability lies at, and just either encourage them to play and just say no one's going to make fun of you or hurt you here. This is like a safe place. Or if they still feel like they just want to send in a drumming video, I don't force them to play in person. So video is fine as well.
Great, fantastic. I saw the video, and we have my drum school, Drum Time. We have so many videos at our channel, youtube.com/drumtime. Drum Time Joe. I don't know why I put Drum Time Joe, but it's okay. Drum Time Joe.
Yep.
We have so many videos with our students playing live like you did last year and another year. This last year, 2020, we don't have any videos, of course, but let's talk about your better experience teaching drums. What kind of lesson did you have to with your students that have touched you forever? What kind of things you heard of from your students that causes some kind of wow, I'm so grateful to teach you, or doing drum lessons,
Right.
teaching drums?
So like, what are you asking? Like, what is kind of my favorite thing about teaching drum lessons? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Honestly, I would say being able to see my students improve, whether it's on the drum set or even just at lessons. I have some students who can be like very shy, and that's okay. I actually love it when students come in and they're wanting to learn the drums, but then they're sort of shy about it and not really sure, because then I feel like it gives me an opportunity to get to know the students and understand where they're coming from and be able to change my teaching style depending on the student. So I think my favorite part is definitely seeing students either open up more to myself, or maybe students being more confident in themselves to be able to play the drums, whether it's that they play the drums and end up playing online, like on a video, and are okay with me featuring them as a student on social media, or maybe it's them playing in person. Like I love being able to see students who go from like one point to another point within a year or two, even, or even a few months with some of my students. So I would definitely say that it would be just the fact that I can see my students improve and that I'm allowing myself just to stand beside them and walk beside them as they grow as a drummer and as a person as well. So that's what I would say.
Great, fantastic. Like me. So we are both doing almost the same things in Brazil, Canada.
Awesome.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, do you remember your the first time that you saw a drummer or a drum kit in your entire life? The very first time?
Yeah, actually, I so I was about 12 years old, and a family friend of mine had a drum set at their house, and we were over there with my family, and he said, "Hey, do you want me to show you a drum beat?" And he did on that drum set. And at that point, I was absolutely obsessed with it. That was my first time seeing a drum set, was at that time. So.
And did you play? Did you try to play?
Yeah, so he showed me how to play it, and then by the end of like 20 minutes, I got it, and I was like, okay, can you show me another drum beat, because I want to learn another one. So he showed me another basic rock beat, and then he showed me a drum fill, and so like all evening, I actually just practiced on that drum set while my family was hanging out with his family, and so that was basically the start of it. And then after that, I actually asked my music teacher if I could stay in at recess every single day so that I could practice the drum set, because I didn't have a drum set at home. Yeah. So that's kind of how it went. It was pretty funny. So.
So you learned fast.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah.
Great. Time to see that trick on the single bass drum pedal.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
You take a double bass.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So. Here. Okay.
Okay, great. I can see it.
All right. So basically what it is that I'm playing a double stroke with my right hand. Okay. And then I'm doing a kick. But what I'm doing is I'm doing a heel toe technique with my kick drum. So. All right.
Great. So, people, if you want to see how to do this kind of motion and how to emulate two bass drums with just one bass drum, please check it out, the YouTube and the Instagram, Sharon. So, Sharon, you can share with us your contacts for people who want to see more about you and maybe contact you.
Yeah, for sure. So you can find me on all social media at Ransom Drum Lab. So ransomdrumlab at gmail.com, Ransom Drum Lab on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. And that's basically my social media handle for all over.
Great. And for online lessons too, same one.
Yeah, so it's ransomdrumlab at gmail.com. Or if you want to check out my website, it's ransomdrumlab.ca. And you can register directly on there for online drum lessons, or even just to check out some videos and whatnot too.
Great. We have Lucy here. Lucy, tell for Sharon about the colors in the Sharon studio, about the blue, and I don't know how about that color of the foams. It's orange.
It's like blue.
Blue and orange.
The foam is like yellow, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, Lucy? Is great color is because you are the specialist. Tell Sharon what you think about the colors on the end and in the studio, Sharon studio. Okay,
Yeah.
Sharon, let's talk about your fave drummers. Please tell us the name of your favorite drummers, male, female, whatever.
Yeah, for
Doesn't matter.
sure. Okay, so my favorite female drummer would definitely have to be Emmanuelle Caplet, who is my drum teacher. I just love her. I think she's great, and she has an awesome personality and everything too. So that's really cool. I also really love Queen Cora Coleman Dunham. So she's the drummer for Beyonce, as well as the Pocket Queen or Taylor Gordon. She's really cool too. So yeah, those would probably be my favorite drummers. And then right now, male drummers, my favorite is like Mike Johnston as one of them, and Gavin Harrison, and also Larnell Lewis. So those are like my top favorite drummers who are male. So yeah.
Okay, if you have to choose five female drummers to doing a Girls on Drums festival issue at your city, you please choose five
Five
drummers.
female drummers
Yeah, you can put your name on the list.
on the list too. Okay. Well, I would love to be on the list with Taylor Gordon and Emmanuelle Caplet and yeah, Cora Coleman Dunham.
Yeah.
It would be really cool too to even have like Sheila E as well. That would be really cool. And also, well, who else?
You
And myself, yeah. I guess
one left.
one left. Yeah, I would probably say the last one. The last one I would probably say like Lindsay Arcop. So she's really cool too. She took drum lessons from Berkeley. So I'd probably say her. Yeah, she's cool. So
Okay, we are now with almost 1 hour and a half long streaming, very good streaming. So we have to go to the final part. We have about 5 minutes. So Cheryl, what kind of advices or final words that you can say for the people who are watching, young drummers, because some people are will be watching after.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the youngest drummers, the people that just start to play drums. We have my student here, Lucy. Lucy said for you, blues. Yeah, blue. The blue collar calms down. So all the students, all the Sharon students are calmed down
Okay.
on the lessons. My students not. My students have black color, white color. Just have.
That's funny.
Just kidding. Okay, what kind of advice you can say for the drummers, the female drummers, please?
Yeah, that's a good question. I've actually said this before on some other interviews, but I'm gonna just say the same thing because I think it's so true. I would say as an advice that no matter where you are at as a drummer, that's where you're supposed to be at. And the important thing is that you're comparing to yourself rather than comparing to other people, because of the fact that I think sometimes when we compare ourselves to other people and try to put ourselves down that way, oh, we're not as good as them or we'll never be like that, then it actually will stunt your growth as a drummer yourself. And so I think it's great to look up to people and say, wow, you're doing great, and push and encourage other people on and say, okay, like you're at a different stage than where I'm at. But the thing is that I think it's important to compare yourself to yourself. So if you've done better as a drummer a month later after practicing, that's what matters. That's what counts. Or maybe it's 2 months later, you've noticed that your single stroke rolls are getting faster than they were 2 months ago. Those are the types of things that are little wins that matter and that count and that should be acknowledged rather than comparing yourself by saying, I'm not as good as another person. That kind of stuff does not help you as a drummer. What does help is acknowledging the little wins that you've had as a drummer yourself and pushing yourself forward from knowing those things.
Great, great. Did you hear it, Lucy? Did you hear people? So, what kind of things the young drummer have to have? Metronome.
Yeah.
What more?
Oh, what other stuff as well? Okay, so young drummers, I would say a metronome, yeah, for sure. A practice pad is super helpful.
Metronome, a practice pad.
Yeah, and then even just getting yourself some sort of method book, whether it's something like stick control or syncopation for the modern drummer. Those books you can use for beginners, but they can also be used as an advanced student as well. So it's something that you'll always keep. So those are really good books for sure. So I would say those three things.
Yeah. So metronome, a practice pad, syncopation or stick control, or both, and
a drum teacher. I don't
know. Yeah, me or Sharon.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you forgot something very important? Very good pair of sticks.
Oh, pair of sticks. Yes, that is true. Yeah, yeah, that is very important.
Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, people, we are going to the final of this streaming, 1 hour and a half, almost 1 hour and a half. Fantastic streaming with Sharon. We were waiting for this moment since last year, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, December.
We did a schedule for December, and Sharon have to go a record session, correct?
Yeah, I actually was hired for a commercial project, so I had to go do that. Yeah. So.
Where the video?
It's not out yet. It's actually coming out soon.
Yeah, we can see the video after publish.
Yes. Yeah, you'll see it.
Oh,
yeah.
Great. Fantastic. So, people, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this very cool streaming. Time goes by. Time goes very fast. Thank you, Sharon, for being part of our family, streaming family, Girls on Drums streaming family. Thank you for the time and your patience. Thank you for show us your very beautiful studio, your equipment. Thank you so much. It was very amazing streaming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Very good. So you will receive Azoct filters, the blue ones. Okay, please after our streaming, send me your address on private, of course, and I will send it for Azoct pads, and they will contact you to send you this gift. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, people. Thank you for being here. Next week, Sharon, we have a special guest, Brazilian drummer Marina Marques, doing here the very first special class, the very first special class, Girls on Drums special class. We will have a monthly special class with a guest. So we have Marina Marques this month. Next month, we will have Bruna Barone from Brazil. In April, we will have Eleni Nota from Greece, and so on. So we're trying to do this different kind of event, online event. Please stay with us, Sharon, and if you want to participate, please tell me. And for the next streaming, please stay with us, send your questions, watch our next guest. We have a schedule until June. Can you believe?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Streaming. Yeah. So, people, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Sharon. Pessoal, muito obrigado por estar aqui. Nos vemos na próxima semana aqui às 9h30 na quinta-feira com a Marina Marques e a aula especial. E espero que vocês tenham gostado essa live com a Sharon. Foi sensacional, várias lições. Contate ela se você quiser saber mais ou quiser alguma dica ou mesmo quiser fazer as aulas, ok? Sorry for speaking Portuguese, Sharon. Thank you so much. We are finishing now. Okay? Have a good night. Stay safe. God bless you. See you next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.